Alrighty, how's everybody doing? We are here streaming today. Tonight will be the Alton Park special. Like it's a special race or something, I don't know what I'm talking about. Season 1 Open Series, round 4 I believe. And it is, we are indeed at Alton Park. I love this track. It's a great track, I love it. And I am joined by Eric Metcalf. Introduce yourself, please.
Hey everyone, name's Eric. I joined Noobs R Us a few months back, did a few races, and yeah, just happy to be here. Figured I'd see how this side of everything's done. So.
There we go, we are happy to have you in the booth today.
Thank you.
And let's hope for an amazing race tonight.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull up the stream myself.
We're gonna hop in here with qualifying. Zach Schneider currently leading the pack here.
I'm working on it right now.
Jeremy for subbing. I mean, it's pretty much your channel. I don't know why you're subbing to it. Crazy. I should probably look at the standings or something, but why not? We'll see how the standings are going in the Open Series. Darren Thomas actually beating Zach Schneider there on that lap. Let's follow him for a little bit here.
Yeah, Darren's actually been coaching me when we get a chance. He's helped me gain a lot of speed here recently.
That's good to hear. Darren is one of my favorite drivers to race against, actually. He's a very clean and respectful driver, and also very quick.
He is. He's very modest about it, but he is extremely quick.
So in the standings for the Open Series season in its entirety thus far, we have, let's see here, Zach Schneider currently in the lead. And wow, the top 4 are heel and toe. They're only 1 point behind each other going from first to fourth. First place is Zach Schneider. Second place currently Vittorio Simone, and third place is Nicholas Menendez at the moment. See if this race changes anything. And Darren Thomas is in 5th after missing the first race, but that is his dropped result. And then we have Devin Anthony in 6th. And then I'm not too sure we see the other people all that often here. Zach Schneider taking the provisional pole back from Darren Thomas. Currently the best lap out there is a 1:33.4. So we're looking for low 33s, maybe a high 32 if someone is that quick. I'm not sure how Vittorio's out this race.
I would not be surprised to see Zach get into the 132s. He's a very fast driver.
He is, and he actually recently, I don't know if signed is the right word, but he's joined the Noobs R Us team, I guess. Yeah, he's a very quick driver. I haven't talked to him all that much.
Had the chance to speak to him just in practice sessions. Really fast, really knowledgeable, and always ready to help an amateur, a slow amateur like myself.
Well, that's good to hear. We always like to have supportive people around. Follow Nick Menendez here in the Aston as he's about to cross the line. He's about 6/10 up on his lap. That should get him into provisional P3. We have Tolu in the Ferrari, who's also around about 7/10 up, 7.5. Gains a lot of time through there, but loses it on the exit. Hits a sponsor and goes under the grass, loses all that time. Commentator's curse coming in clutch there. Mike Cortez in that gorgeous McLaren. He's 2/10
we got a car off. Burkhoff just went off.
Went off.
Yeah, he's back in the pits now. He just went off.
I wonder if that was, I think he was on an invalid lap. I may be wrong on that one though.
So it looks like Cortez is currently 2/10 up on his lap, on his best lap. Currently in 9th with a 137.1.
Closes the gap to Devin Anthony ahead in terms of time. Only needs about a 1/10.5 to surpass Devin now for that 8th place provisional position. I'm not sure if it's just me, but my ACC looks more phenomenal than usual. I think it's because of these low light conditions, sort of highlighting some more graphical things.
I was noticing that. It does look pretty good.
Hopefully my GPU can keep up in rendering this game and rendering the stream as well. Hopefully there's not too much dropped frames or choppiness. That wouldn't be great.
No, it would not be.
Casey, currently 2/10 up, about to finish his lap. There's a little bit of time on the exit there. That's not going to gain him any positions, but it further secures his 5th place. No one really out there on a valid lap at the moment other than Casey. Who's improving, I should say. The clouds, really? The clouds make the game look better? I mean, we're not even looking at the sky, but I mean just like shadows and shading and stuff. Oh, here we go. Devin Anthony's 4/10 up on his lap after like not that many corners. I'm not too familiar with this track. Or at least this layout of the track. Hello, Eric Jota. Or Jota. How are you doing tonight? Jeremy, is this like a night race? Or is it just like a sort of an evening? I should have probably been paying attention in the briefing. Midday dry rain. Ooh, interesting. Okay. And this is a hour-long race, I think. I've been pretty ill recently. I haven't been fully keeping up with everything, so I'm still a bit drowsy.
Mendez in the spin.
Devin Anthony abandoning his lap. Oh, never mind. He had finished his lap. I think he gained a couple positions there while I wasn't paying attention and just gapping everyone's ears off.
You're doing a better job than I am right now.
It's fine. Have you gotten your race control working?
let's see. Extracted the file. There's
To run it, there should just be a batch file.
Yep.
And then should pull up the actual program.
Not anyway, Microsoft. Alright, so it's there. I have it now.
Alrighty, you're just gonna go to your Jeremy's saying you can just use the shift and arrow keys if you'd like to change between drivers, but if you want to actually use race control, just hit the settings icon, should be in the bottom left, and hit connect. As always, technical difficulties.
There it is.
Alright, and then you can kind of go between all the drivers and such. David, thank you for the sub, my man. That'll be 6 months in a row for David. Check in with Nick Kanya here. 410 sub. Thank you, that guy. I have no clue who that is. I want to say it's Devin Anthony, but I might be wrong completely, and I apologize if I am. Oh, Kosovoon, okay. Yeah, I'm still a little sick, guys, come on. Please don't rag on me that much. Tanya. 2/10 up, going across the line here. Just goes ahead of Casey by a couple hundredths. One Bigly with the gifted sub. 2 Devon. It's pretty funny. This qualifying is over. Apart from Zach Schneider, Darren Thomas, and Tonkin. Tonkin actually doesn't look like, it looks like he just invalidated along with Schneider.
Doesn't look like Thomas is going to improve. He's 10th and a half down.
Yeah, unlucky for him. He just dives into the pits there.
Yep.
Alright, so while we are waiting for this, this is the calendar, which y'all can see. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I have the right one up here. I do, perfect. So as you can see highlighted, or the brighter ones here, are going to be the races we have on Thursdays, the open races. So next week's going to be Kailami, and the week after that is the finale at the Nürburgring 24 Hour. And on Tuesdays, we have the Rookie Series, whose next race is going to be at Zandvoort, and then following that will be at the Nürburgring GP circuit. So still more races to look forward to in the season. And still a lot of points to fight over in terms of championship standing and the like. So that's always good. Alright, Eric, do you want to give us a rundown of the grid while I kind of roll through and check out some of their cars?
Yeah, I can give it a shot. I'm trying to figure out how to this whole race grid works. Let me ask you real quick, are you using like the spectator mode within ACC to watch everything and race control just for timings, or how are you working this?
So I use race control to switch through cars and the like. I don't really use much of the camera system at all in ACC.
Okay.
Other than like yellow flags and stuff like that. But yeah, the grid order should be on there. for you.
Yep,
If you
I
want to
see
just
it.
go through that, that'd be perfect. As I will transition our screen back over. And when you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So starting off, we have Zach Schneider.
We have Zach. My screen has not changed. There we go. So we have Zach Schneider in first in the Porsche, followed by Darren Thomas in the lovely Aston Martin. Then we have Mendez in another Aston Martin. Then we have Burkhoff in the BMW. Nick Cania in the Aston Martin as well, followed by Casey Swansiger in the Porsche. And I don't know how to pronounce his name. If you could help me out there, Will. In seventh place.
Let's take a look here. That would be Tolu.
Tolu.
Mm-hmm.
Tolu in the Ferrari. We have Mr. Anthony in eighth place. Mr. Alisea, ninth in the BMW. Tonkin in 10th. In the AMG. Cortez in 11th in the McLaren. Burkhart, Welth in the Ferrari. And I believe that's Ricky Bobby, 13th in the Aston Martin.
Alrighty. And that is the starting order for today's race. Good job there, Eric. And I did kind of throw you into the fire on that one. That's my bad.
Don't worry about it, man. You kind of caught me like in a work meeting where I'm half paying attention and my name gets called because I'm trying to work on something else real quick.
And we've seen a lot of good racing in the Open Series thus far. As Jeremy redeems a livery rundown. Why not? We'll take a look here. This will be the Boobies Ferrari. Very nice looking car. Got flames on the front. Sort of a purple-pink theme going on. I don't know what you'd call this. There's a skin actually in Counter-Strike, specifically on knives and the Glock. It's called the Fade skin, sort of that kind of colorway. And everybody, pull out your phones and scan that QR code. It's a very nice looking car. Got some dragons on the front too. I personally think it's one of the better looking cars on the grid. Other than the Noobs R Us, of course. All around a nice livery as my camera fades into the floor. Does it not work anymore? That's pretty funny. I believe that QR code was to link either to the SimGrid or the Discord, if I remember correctly. Maybe it doesn't work anymore. Not too sure. And the cars are going to start going 2 by 2 as we are about to start this race.
So I'm still fairly new to Assetto Corsa, especially with just the whole online competitive racing. And the starts they never cease to freak me out a little bit because there's always someone that comes flying through me right at the start, like a ghost.
Maybe I need to do a workshop on that. Never done a workshop before, but who knows. As we are green, Zach Schneider getting a clean getaway in first place there. Looks like most of the grid staying in position. Looks like there isn't any carnage, which is always good to see. Burkhoff seems to have made up a place actually and gone into third. fine for the moment. As they dive down into the loop here. Where the hairpin is. We have a car off. I believe it was car 88 in the back there. It's David. We'll take a look and see what happened there. Looks like he just ran wide on that straight and decided to hit the barrier, which is interesting. That's not a typical racing line that I'd go for. He is down the back of the pack now.
David doing David things.
David is doing David things, for sure. Casey's just made up a position as we see Zach Schneider touching the grass and spinning out. I just clicked away from that. Take a look here.
I just went to him and I saw Darren coming through and Schneider going way off.
Looks like there was a bit of understeer around that corner and he just touched the grass and it spun him out completely. Luckily he's able to stay ahead of David at least. But he's now sitting in 12th place.
Things there.
And that means Darren is going to inherit first place. It would be, I'd find it pretty hard to believe that Zach could come back all the way to first place, but it's not inconceivable. Just very unlikely, in my opinion, as a lot of the cars are now spaced out. Looks like the current closest cars here are going to be these three and maybe a small group behind. So it seems like there was no foul play involved in those two incidents.
Yeah, when I went to it real quick, I couldn't really tell. I initially thought Darren might have tapped it, but looking at the replay, yeah, it just got a little wide there in the grass and just lost it.
Yeah. It's just solely driver error there.
It's a mistake I would make.
Hey, even the best make mistakes. I'm sure he doesn't take it from that. Everybody makes mistakes there. Casey and Mike Cortez going side by side into this corner. Casey maintains the position just barely, probably a little wider than he wanted to on the exit of that corner as he's being chased by Mike Cortez.
Whoa. And Bobby goes wide.
Ricky Bobby in the background there, sliding off the track after touching the grass. Again, more driver error it seems to be.
It looked like he just braked a little bit too late.
Certainly seems that way. Zach Schneider getting a position off of that.
It looks like we got a three-way battle for sixth up here with Anthony, Burkhardt, and Tonkin.
It's actually going to be a total Anthony and Burkhardt. Though I'll explain it to you in a moment. Yep, these three cars battling for 5th position right now. Tolu, very quick driver. I don't see too much of him, and I don't think I've ever talked to him personally. But from what I'm seeing, he's a very competent, consistent driver. And he's, of course, quite quick. Devin Anthony flashing his lights there. Trying to attempt the overtake, possibly. As Tolu goes wide.
Yeah.
Loses 3 positions there. Could even possibly lose a 4th. Burkhardt and Devin Anthony going too wide into the final corner. Second to last. I don't know if you count that little. I guess that would be the corner. I need to learn this track a little bit more.
Yeah,
I feel like.
You are correct. That was for 5th. I just did not go high enough up in the position chart here. So I'm still learning this race control thing here.
And that's okay.
I appreciate it. But now we've got 5 drivers
5 drivers all within a second of each other. Going to be going for 5th place. As my race control is sort of bugging out there. Not sure what's happening. That's going to be 6 drivers all within a second of each other at the moment. So it looks like most of the racing is going to be happening in the midfield. As the
We got Burkhoff. Go ahead.
I was going to say the front runners have sort of run away with it, but Burkhoff is closing the gap to Darren slowly.
To everyone on the stream, you have to excuse me. This is my first time, and I have to remind myself that I need to talk on here, not just watch the race.
Looks like there was a car off before this little pack here. It seems to be Kanya. And Devin Anthony's caught up with him. That group of 6 or so cars is now split into a group of 4 and a group of 3 after they've caught up with Kanya.
I'm following along with Burkhoff right now, and right now he has the fastest lap at a 1:34.0. And that was 2.5 tenths faster than Darren Thomas.
Seems like he's hot lapping then, as Devin Anthony makes the move on Kanya. We just saw that there. And these 4 cars now locked into a long battle. And we shall see how the track conditions, as they change. I'm pretty sure it's going to rain at some point during the race. Let's see how that affects everybody's race and the positions they finish in. As we have this long train of cars now forming back up. 7 cars here, stretching from 4th to 10th. Oh, pretty close in contention, and Zach Schneider is closing from 11th there. Will soon be upon this pack, trying to weave his way through it. Barkov is actually catching Darren Thomas quite quickly there. The gap, I believe, was around 1.5 seconds. He's closed it to within a second now, 0.8. We'll see how that develops, but it looks like the two are sort of just hot lapping at the moment, not really fighting. Casey Swansea makes up a place on the Tolu. I'm not sure if there was a mistake there or if it was just a standard pass.
Yeah, last lap, Burkhoff was 3 tenths faster than Thomas there. And, but, however, Burkhoff is currently 1.5 back on his previous lap, so we'll see.
We'll definitely see how that unfolds. Zach Schneider has actually caught up with this pack here.
Now that's going to be fun to watch. Zach coming to this pack.
We will try and see as much as we can of him weaving through this pack, trying to get up there, back possibly into the podium places if he's quick enough. It looks like Menendez in 3rd has actually dropped pretty far off of Burkov, around 7 seconds or so, as that is Tolu.
Tolu went
off, hands position to Mike Cortez. And Zach Schneider is going to be looking to take advantage of that. Isn't able to get anything done there. They both go wide, and Zach Schneider again is off track at that same corner. I'm pretty sure that was the corner it was before, which I believe is, I think that's Druids, if I'm not mistaken.
Now, Zach had issues at Monza as well, twice, didn't he? And he ended up closing the gap and winning that, or finishing 2nd, didn't he?
I don't really remember, to be honest. I was not streaming Monza. That was Jeremy. So I'm not too sure. I'm going to take your word for it. Maybe Zach is having a little bit of an issue with Porsche. Head up to the fight for first. As Burkhoff's
It looks
closed
like
that gap
Burkhoff
even
is
further.
catching him in the turns. Looks like he's braking later than Darren and slowly closing that gap.
Darren maybe not feeling as comfortable as he liked, or as he would like in the Aston round here. This. Thank you for the follow, Summit Slider. And welcome to the Noobs R Us stream. Darren, sorry, this track, rather, I feel like it sort of suits a very nimble car. Or
That is not the Aston.
Yeah, that's definitely not the Aston. And definitely not the Mustang either. But, that would be my assumption, but I haven't driven around this track in ACC. I've done so a decent amount in iRacing, but in the smaller Formula cars. Never bothered to learn the track, sorry, the corner names or anything like that.
Right now I'm showing Burkhoff is within 0.2 of Darren. And Burkhoff's fastest lap of the race, 1:33.9. So he's moving pretty quickly right now.
That's good to hear. It looks like we have...
Oh! Darren went off.
Darren went off. I missed that completely. I was going to go back and watch somebody else that I had seen gone off, which I believe was car 716. We'll rewind this a bit and see what happened here with Darren. A little bit in the grass there on the inside. Ah, he just clips the curb and it sends him reeling, unsettles the rear of the car.
Yeah. I've been there with the Aston.
Definitely didn't lose as much time as he could have, but that's definitely going to put a damper on his mood. And it was...
Well,
go ahead.
He'll settle in. He'll make his grocery runs and he'll catch up.
I'm sure he will. And we still have to contend with the pit stops and rain, maybe. Not too sure. I should definitely read more about these races. But earlier I wasn't able to show it. Mike Cortez actually had a spin and lost, I want to say, 4 or 5 positions. He's now down in 11th. Zach Schneider up in 9th. He's gained another 2 positions on where he was. But he has a lot of catching up to do to the car in front, which was going to be Casey Swanseger, you can see behind Tonkin here. It's about an 8-second gap that Schneider has to overcome for this next position. And I'd still bet money on him doing it.
What happened to David? He was right behind Toru within a second. Now he's 3 seconds back.
You know, I'm not 100% sure. We'll try and take a look here. Seems like he's very slow through that corner. I believe that's... I'm not sure what it's called, but it's sort of the hairpin there at the far end of the track. Seemed very slow through there. Maybe he's having some technical difficulties. Not too sure. Take a look at Bryce Burkhardt here, who's being caught by Tonkin behind.
So right now, Burkhardt is our biggest member of the race. He up 6 positions.
6 positions. That is really good from him. That's probably solely from avoiding incidents as well, and maybe just taking advantage of some mistakes that people have been making. Looks like Darren is actually still losing time to Burkov, who's in first. This happened as well at Suzuka, which was round 2. Darren and Schneider both had an incident or two. I forget how exactly it happened. They stayed out really long on their tires. Mike Burkov came in relatively early for his tires and actually jumped them with a huge undercut.
Yeah, I remember watching that. And I don't want to say he came out of nowhere, but it was, where did he come from?
Yeah,
I saw that.
sort of thing. I was not expecting that at all. We just saw Casey Swansea there take the place, 7th place off of Tonkin. I'm sure he'll be happy with himself. It was a nice move, clean move. Wonder if David has damage. We'll take a look here. Don't really have a good view.
It looks, from my view, it looks like he might have a little bit of front end damage.
Oh yeah, his car does seem to be pretty clattered up. We did see him along one of the straights. He went off and essentially just slammed his entire front end into a barrier, so that's probably what caused that. And that's got to be slowing him down.
I just got a good look, and it looks like his hood is a little, barely holding on.
You know, that seems to happen with David more often than not.
Hold on to it, Tolu. There you go.
But as the cars are now pretty spread apart, nothing, no one's really too close yet, but I'm sure Snyder will be making time on whoever's in front of him.
Yeah, I'm watching him right now, and he's slowly ticking off the tenths to Tonkin, so. Looks like he's driving as a man on a mission right now.
That sounds like Zach. Tonkin actually closing the gap a little bit to Casey in front of him as well, so we may have a 3-way fight here.
No!
If they're not careful. Is that Casey going off?
Casey went off.
We'll take a look at this real quick, as Tonkin and Schneider both gain positions off of that. And Ricky Bobby as well. Not entirely sure what happened there. It looks like maybe it was a technical deal and his wheel disconnected, but he just seemed to go straight on in the corner.
It was commentator first, because I moved up to him. As soon as I did that, he went right off. It was my fault.
Well, yeah, that wouldn't be the first time that something like that's happened.
Sorry, Casey. It's my fault. You can blame me.
Casey now lost, I believe, 3 positions off of that. You will not be happy with whatever or whoever caused that.
Yeah, something similar happened to Darren and I in the Pro-Am, actually, at Kyalami. We were coming down the back straight, and he lost force feedback completely. And then going into Cheetah, that right-hand curve with the big sausage curve right there. He missed it, and his wheel lost power, and he kept turning right into Barry R.
I see. Our good old friend Barry R. I think every person who's raced with Noobs R Us has been acquainted with Barry R at least a time or two. So we're currently watching Zach Schneider closing the gap, still slowly but steadily on Schneider. David dives into the pits actually, hopefully to repair some of the damage he has, but that might be his mandatory, that will be his mandatory stop done. So
there goes Schneider.
Doesn't have to do another one. Schneider, yep.
Making the move
takes
on
the
Tonkin.
position. Tonkin sort of just letting him through there. Probably to conserve his time as well.
I mean, if you're going up against Schneider, I mean, unless you're as fast as him, I don't know if he's really your race, you know?
Yeah. Looks like Nicolas Menendez also jumping into the pits here. Very early pit stops from these guys, only 20 minutes in. Maybe their in-game forecast is telling them something. I'm not sure if we can actually take a peek at that. Does it tell us here? It does not. But the pit window's open for another 18 minutes. Casey Swansea also in the pits now. A lot of cars coming in early. As we are watching Devin Anthony here, being chased by Kanya, who's around about a second behind.
So right now the fastest lap is still a 1:33.9 by Burkhoff. And did Thomas, did he go into the pits as well? Did you say that?
Thomas has not gone into the pits, but it looks like Thomas had actually, or Darren had made another mistake, because he's now 20 seconds back from the leader.
Yeah.
I don't think he went into the pits yet.
I don't think so. It's, oh, he's got front end damage.
Oh, Darren has front end damage. He's diving into the pits now. Hopefully to get that fixed. We'll see. It's probably causing him a lot of time loss. His last lap was a 1:51, which is around 20 or so seconds slower than his average laps. Kanya also diving into the pits here. Devin Anthony inherits second place, provisionally, of course, due to the pit stops. But who knows, with Darren's damage, that might actually give him second, actually, you know? Not too sure. But
hey, it's a long race.
It is.
See. Right now, everyone's pretty spread out throughout the track.
There is no rain yet, Lizzie. I am not 1,000,000% sure that there is even rain coming at all. But don't quote me on it. But everything's sort of calmed down now for the moment. Mike Cortez is in the pits. He just left the pits now.
So I'm gonna follow Schneider here for a little bit and see.
Wow, that's how much. Sorry for interrupting there, but that's how much damage Darren had. As he has now been lapped by Burkov. Burkov, of course, has not done his pit stop yet. Darren all the way down in 10th place. Must have actually had a lot of damage to repair and cost him a lot of time. Kevin Rivera is in here. Hello, Kevin. Tolu jumps into the pits for his mandatory stop. I believe 4 cars, 5 cars maybe 6 cars, not too sure, who haven't gone into the pits. I believe it's Burkov who's leading, Devin Anthony, Burkhart, Schneider, basically your top 6, because then there's a 20-second gap to Nicolas Menendez. I'm pretty sure everyone else has done their stops.
I'm watching Schneider here. Looks like he's at least a half a second to 3/4 of a second faster than Burkhardt in front of him. So we might want to watch that for a little bit.
That will be something to watch. Looks like Tonkin into the pits and Devin Anthony both into the pits there. Go ahead and start to watch this battle that's about to commence between Burkhardt and Schneider. Both drivers have yet to do their stop. Oh, well, actually go. That's a horrible onboard. There you go. We'll go onboard with Zach Schneider for a little bit as we watch him chase down Burkhardt. Into the chicane.
And this is where Zach can start putting that pressure on.
Most definitely. He needs to be careful though, because he has gone off at this corner 2 times before while following other cars.
No, I think he learned on that one. Might have hurt you.
Let's hope so. Hello, Glenn. How are you doing today? Snap oversteer looks like for Zach there. As Burkhardt dives into the pits. Looks like he didn't really want to start a battle with Schneider. Just letting him through there. As Schneider continues his charge.
He has not pitted yet, has he?
Schneider has not, no. He's going to be looking to... I'm pretty sure he knows that he's quicker than most of the cars that are sort of going to be around him if he were to pit right now. So he's going to gain as much time as he can on these older tires before he comes into the pits. And loses, of course, the bunch of time that you do lose when you are in the pits. Burkhardt, I don't know if I mentioned it, he's in the pits. I did mention it, I'm a little bit of an idiot, that's fine. He's exiting the pits now, he's going to be about 0.7 behind Kanya. Just see him exiting right behind there. Kanya actually has a little bit of damage on the front and it looks like the left side of his car as well, possibly. Lizzie, I believe the only two to have not have pit yet are Burkhardt and Schneider, but it's also possible that Ricky Bobby hasn't either. I'm not too sure.
I believe Ricky Bobby did. I think I saw him dive in.
I should be able to check here, maybe? Ricky Bobby has not actually pitted yet.
Okay.
So your top 3 right now are the ones that haven't pitted. Ricky Bobby is probably going to lose out on that 3rd place for sure. In fact, he might be,
And
he is diving into the pits right now. So he's going to lose a bunch of positions. Schneider, however, is 30 seconds ahead of Menendez, who's going to be in 3rd place right here. In just a moment, once the board on the left of your screen updates. As we watch Kanya being chased by Burkhardt here. So it's entirely possible that Schneider doesn't lose any positions when he does his pit stop.
Yeah, just doing the math quickly in my head, I don't think he's going to lose a position here.
This, the pit lane here is pretty short, if I remember correctly, from when I did iRacing and the like. Ricky Bobby, after he exits the pits, down in 8th place.
So Darren down in 7th, watching him, he is actually in front of Burkhoff.
Oh, he got in front of Barkov at the lead here? That's interesting.
Looks like he got his lap back, or one of his laps back.
Quite possibly. It appears we have had a disconnect. I'm not quite sure who it was. I'm trying to look here. I don't see... Is it Tolu? No, Tolu's still here.
Maybe he's 11th.
Yeah, I believe we had a disconnect. I'm not too sure who it was. I think we had 13 cars and now we only have the 12. As our race leader dives into the pits now. Zack Schneider invalidating his lap there. Looks like he just went off a little bit. Take a look and see what happened here. Just clips a bit too much curb on the inside in that opening right-hander. Sort of unsettles the car. Ricky Bobby's gone. Yeah. I wonder what happened with him. It's probably just an internet issue. Would be my guess. Schneider also jumping into the pits, following Barkov's lead. Barkov's been in the pits for a while. I wonder if he's taking tires as well. Since I believe fuel is the only thing mandatory in the stop. Watch Kanya here. Who's being chased by Burkhart and Darren Thomas.
Yeah, if he took tires, it's probably not a bad idea with Zach. With his pace.
Oh, as
he's got a 30-second lead on him.
Kanya goes completely straight on. He decided to not turn on a right-hand turn. It's kind of outrageous.
He's got a lot of damage on the front of that Aston now.
Yeah. Burkhart letting Darren Thomas go through there, down the start-finish straight. And I'm not sure if Burkhoff had maybe had some damage on his car, but he lost a lot of time to Menendez. It's only a 17-second gap. That was originally a 30-second gap. Either Menendez has put the hammer down and is cranking out these insanely quick laps, or Barkov had some damage and had to take some extra time in the pits to repair. Kanya now in the pits as well to repair the damage from the mistake we saw just out of him a few moments ago. And Schneider down in 4th after his pit stop. Only about 3.5 seconds behind Devin Anthony.
Looks like we have Darren back into 5th place. Not a bad recovery after spinning twice.
Yeah, for sure. Saying Menendez doesn't take tires off fuel, his pit is about 2 seconds long. I think we have a... Do we not have a minimum pit stop time of like 25 seconds though?
I thought that was a minimum fuel.
Yeah, I thought so too. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe that's just in the Rookie Series thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is, Mr. Crosserman. And that means for anyone else who doesn't know, that means the drivers with their pit stop, no matter how much fuel they take, there is a minimum wait time of 25 seconds, even if they only take a single liter of fuel. So that means, yeah, Burkov either had damage or Menendez has been absolutely rapid. since his pit stop, which I believe he took quite a bit earlier than the other two.
That's the longest 25 seconds in your life.
Oh, most definitely. Lizzie, who lost a bunch of pressures on their tires? Barkov? Question mark? Lizzie, of course, never answering my questions. Fantastic. Love to see it. Oh, Menendez before he pitted. Interesting. Okay. Gotcha. It doesn't look like he has the pace to catch Barkov here now, though. But he is, or sorry, Zach Schneider is definitely catching Devin Anthony. I love that ACC camera. Fantastic.
His last lap is a full second behind Barkov, so he's falling.
Just switch on. We'll go on board with Zach Schneider as he's catching Devin Anthony here.
Oh, poor David.
David going off in frame there. Lizzie, you have got to be the one cursing him, surely, at this point.
Zach is all over Anthony right now.
Yes, he's piling on that pressure. Oh my goodness, my voice is dying here. A little bit of a bonk there as the Mustang is slow through these corners.
Zach went off there. I hope he gets penalties for that.
I'll check in a moment to see if he has damage. Yeah, Jeremy, Schneider has clawed his way back up here, tooth and nail. But he's still far off of second and first place. There's a 20-second gap from third to second and second to first respectively for both of them. As Tonkin has gotten a drive-through and is now serving that drive-through in the pits. That's going to lose him a bunch of positions there.
Anthony's doing a great job keeping Schneider behind him right now.
Yeah, Devin Anthony is a fantastic defensive driver. Having raced him myself, I find it hard a lot of the time to get past him, to the point where I may or may not accidentally completely bonk him off of the road. But that's just me. A lot of the times, it's rarely ever his fault. And he is a great defensive driver. Schneider getting a lot of drive out of that corner, but the Mustang's acceleration there just sort of helping Devin Anthony out.
And we have Darren Thomas fourth behind them, closing that gap.
Yeah, with this fight that's happening, Devin's going to be eager to make up a lot of time.
But I'm going to have to give a shout out to someone that's hard to pass. That's Lizzie. Past few races I've been in where I've been behind her, she's giving me a fit.
Lizzie is difficult to pass, mainly because you're too afraid that she'll crash you out.
I didn't say that. Will said that. But no, it's always been fair with Lizzie. So I've enjoyed it. I've always tried not to run into her or anything. So Yeah, she's so far from where I'm racing, where we're racing, she's been the toughest one to pass so far.
Is Anthony and Schneider going side by side,
Oh,
going down. Oh,
Schneider almost lost it there for a little bit.
did he clip the grass a little bit there?
I think so. My camera angle changed right as he was going off, so I couldn't really tell. But I just saw him wiggle the car a little bit as he was trying to go around the right side of Anthony, so it's possible.
Maybe he had a bit of an oversteer. He's in close contention though.
Here's Darren under 2 seconds now.
Yeah, he's been closing that gap steadily while these two have been fighting.
Yeah. Clipping off about a second a lap faster than these two, so.
Oh, there's no minimum pit time, Jeremy? I thought there was. My mistake. Schneider's not going to be happy with Devin Anthony as he starts to see Darren Thomas closing in that mirror of his.
And as a Mustang owner myself, I'm really hope Anthony can pull away here. But
Well, Schneider getting a little
oh,
out of touch there, losing a lot of speed down the straight. It might give Darren the chance to go through.
there he goes. There he goes. Oh, backed out of it.
He was definitely looking at it though. Definitely thought about
Yeah.
it. That gives Devin Anthony a little bit of a break, as Schneider is now under full pressure of Darren Thomas behind. Kanya has gotten a drive-through. He is at the back of the grid though. I don't think that'll affect his race all that much. Schneider's back on Anthony's tail, just like that. The snap of his fingers. He's right back up there. Now it's a true fight, all of them within about half a second in total between the three of them. With 16 minutes left to go in this race. Doesn't seem to be any rain coming, even though I think Jeremy said that it was overcast, possibly rain. I guess we didn't get any. But if the drivers are staying out on dry tires, then I think they're all good. Yeah, the Mustang is a pain to pass, I will say.
Yeah. She's got that drive, that top end speed.
It's essentially impossible to catch in a straight line unless you're another car with decently high top speed, or top end speed, and the toe, of course, the Mustang in front.
And I'd hate to be in that car, driving that car for Anthony right now. He knows I'd be feeling nervous with these two behind me.
Most definitely. Two of the quickest drivers on the grid, right
Oh,
behind
looks
you.
like we got a attempt here.
quite possibly they might try and do this into Druids. No, Schneider just poking his nose in, filling it out. And he just decided, nah, not this time. He knows that he can get down around one of these corners where the Mustang is sluggish, and that's going to be his best opportunity. Either that or into a braking zone, where I believe the Porsche would be better under braking. Don't quote me on that. I've never driven the Porsche. I just know it's absolutely horrific to drive.
I've driven it. The rear end's faster than the front.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Looks like Darren's dropping back a little bit. He's trying to measure this up a little bit.
He might be trying to get a grasp on the exact lines that they're taking through these corners. And seeing if there's a way that he can exploit that.
Zach needs to be careful from camera angles that I keep switching through. Looks like he might be sliding off track a little bit.
It is possible. He is in a Porsche. This fight is for third place as well, so this is a podium fight right here. And for with three separate cars as well. I just realized our top four are all separate cars. That's good to see. Oh, there's a touch from... Zach touches the rear end of Devin Anthony there. Doesn't lose a lot of time, but just these little things can cause someone's entire race to go completely haywire. Barkov's
Big
still
surprise is that Darren didn't take fourth after that.
Yeah. I think it's a combination of the Aston's sort of relatively slow acceleration out of corners, maybe. And I don't know. Schneider definitely kept that under control in as best as was possible to lose the least amount of time there. To stay ahead, but in the front, Barkov is like 26 seconds clear of Menendez, and Menendez himself is around 20 seconds clear of third. And third position is right where all the action is happening right now.
Race has a Formula One 2023 feel to it, with Burkhoff up by 28 seconds and the actions in, third, fourth, fifth place.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Looks like Casey actually went off track there. We'll see. He spun around on the back straight and then managed just to hit the barrier with the back of his car. But he's back on the road now. Back to this fight here for third. Yeah, that's the main problem I have racing against the Mustang there, Kosovoon, is, well, he's pretty much exactly as you said it. He doesn't need to do anything more than just take the racing line. On a track like this, with seems to mostly have a straight between every section of major corners, where the Mustang can just pull ahead, and the driver has to do minimal work to actually keep that position defended, essentially. Not saying no work is done, not saying that anyone who drives the Mustang is a bad driver, just saying it makes it a lot easier. These guys have been going at it now for, I think, just going on about 6 minutes. And this positional standing, you'd call it. No changes in position yet. No major incidents. Just had that little tap from Schneider that almost took him out of this little battle.
Yeah, I know the Porsche is great at handling, but it looks like Devin's got that car set up where it's rotating really nicely in turns. He's giving Zach everything he can right now.
Yeah. Actually planted that Mustang. So Devin actually lost a bit of time out of the exit of that corner, but it doesn't really matter. You can see the gap opening up. Absolutely insane.
And the speed of the Mustang does allow you a little bit of a buffer there if you mess up.
Most definitely. They are actually catching a back marker here. Car 117, that'll be Tonkin. I wonder if he will come into play with this battle here.
It'll be interesting to see how they get through the traffic here, or if he just pulls over and lets them through.
That will be interesting to see. Tonkin not really like required to get out of the way. He just has to make sure that they pass fairly safely and within a respectable time frame. He doesn't have to dart off to the side and ruin his race immediately. Zach definitely is trying. He's doing his damnedest to get into third here. But Darren, I can tell you, is not going to be... he's not going to let it go easily. And neither is Devin. There's another car off on another part of the track. It was Tolu. He's recovering from an incident there. It doesn't look like it was involved with anyone else. Lost him a little bit of time. No position loss though.
Tonkin does present an opportunity for Zach Schneider to get around Devin Anthony here. If you time it just right.
Yeah, it all depends on how Tonkin reacts, though.
We did start our own little racing group, WRT Reckham Racing Team, because we tend to spin people out. So, for everyone listening, we are sorry about that. This is our official apology.
The on-stream apology goes crazy. Looks like Tonkin is just gonna let all three of them pass. So no drama there. And Kanya had I think he spun like 3 times and is now in the pits, probably because of damage. Unluckily for him.
Everyone except for these 3 are all by themselves throughout the track.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on at all. Barkov has pulled the gap to second up to 32 seconds. That's quite insane. And Schneider,
Oh,
he's got his
looks
nose
like
in.
we gotta
He
get a
might
move.
go for the move here. Thinks better of it. He must be
That Porsche
really
just doesn't have the
frustrated.
speed. Just does not have the speed down the straight.
And the three of them have been like this now for, yeah, around about a full 10 minutes, if not more. Probably
This
actually,
could
yeah,
get
more.
interesting. This could get interesting because they're going to run out of time.
Yeah, they're gonna go for some more desperate moves, I bet. Devin just has to keep consistent, but Zach and Darren need to up the pace and maybe go for a really aggressive move into one of these corners. These three have been fiercely fighting. Pretty much the final quarter of this race. Ever since Zach Schneider caught up with Devin. And the fight just between those two has been going on for a little while longer. I'm just talking about the time since Darren has joined in on this little scuffle.
Yeah, I know I said it earlier. It's very impressive to see Zach and Darren back in the top 5 fighting for the podium here, with both of them having issues earlier in the race.
I suppose that just shows their all-out pace that they have.
That's one thing Darren's told me. Just take it easy. You know, it's a long race. Settle in. And make your grocery runs.
Not the
Surprised how fast you are.
Not the grocery runs.
The grocery runs.
Looks like Darren actually had
backed out.
Yeah, had to back out on the exit there. Maybe he's got a little more pace than he's letting on. Schneider might be going for a move here. He has. I thought there was some overlap. I guess I was mistaken, or maybe the Mustang was just able to pull ahead. Ooh, it's getting almighty close. Zach Schneider getting all squirrely on the exit there. This is heating up. With a minute 50 left to go.
This looked like Darren backed out of that again. I don't know why.
I'm not
like
too
he had
sure.
4th place.
I think he's just trying not to ruin anyone else's race as well.
I can respect that. Looks like maybe another track limits for Zach on that though. Keeps running wide in a few of these turns.
Possibly. I know that the limits here, especially with the sort of, there's a, I don't know how you describe it, but on the exits of some of these corners, it allows you to run pretty wide. Sort of how it is on Monza. After the second chicane, right? There's a short little straight there, and you can take both those exits really wide. They're both right-handers, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I don't know the exact corner names. I think it's turn 6 and 7. If I remember correctly.
Lesmos?
Maybe? It's like after Parabolica, or which one's Parabolica?
So you've got the first chicane, the second chicane, and then you're talking about the 2 right-handers. Yeah, there's Lesmos. Yeah, Glenn, Lesmos.
It is not Parabolica. I am tripping.
Yeah, and then I think you're thinking about the long, fast, swooping right-hander.
Yes.
The last corner, yeah.
No,
so
not the
I
last
actually missed that race.
But
I
I don't
missed
know.
the Monza race. Sadly.
And as we were
did
yapping,
Anthony go off?
the what? Sorry.
Looked like Anthony might have went off there, and Zach didn't.
It was a little
He
touch
taxed
of the
out.
grass. But this is going to be their final lap. So if a move's coming, it's coming now. Darren is a little bit further back than he was. There's also another fight developing, but I'm not going to go to it now since this one is the one to watch. Essentially, Casey Swanseger had a little bit of a time loss there. I believe it was to an off track or maybe a spin, and that's caused Cordes to catch up. But I will let you guys know if that happens, if there's anything happening there. But right now,
Jack's
these three
trying
cars
everything he can.
are the ones to watch. Barkov has finished the race in first position, a whole 30 seconds ahead of Nick Menendez, who's going to be coming there soon. No moves to be made. If anything's coming, it's just going to be a mistake.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to do it.
Devin flashing his lights across the line to come into third place. Zach Schneider fourth and Darren Thomas fifth. Ignore the little icon at the bottom there. It says he's first, or second rather. Sixth place, we're going to have Burkhart. Seventh is going to be Casey Swanseger. Eighth is Cortez. Ninth is Tolu. 10th is Simon Tonkin. And 11th is David Alisea. Burkov, of course, coming first, and Menendez second. Great race from everybody today. An outstanding performance, especially from Devin Anthony, in my opinion, for that defense there for the final quarter, pretty much of that entire... the defense for that entire last quarter. And also a great race from Schneider and Darren Thomas for their outstanding comeback performances after making mistakes early on, coming back to 4th and 5th respectively. We had a disconnect from Ricky Bobby and from... I didn't see who else that was. I believe it was Kanya after his mistake. But we're going to take a brief intermission and get the drivers in here for an interview, hopefully. So stick with us. I know, David. All right. We are back with interviews, and to my knowledge, Eric is going to be asking the interview questions today, so why don't you lead us off, Eric?
So let me see. Who do we have in here with us right now? Do we have everyone with us?
Yep, we
Mike,
have all three podium finishers here.
Mendez. All right. Well, let's start off with Mike. Mike, tell us about your race, man.
It won. Yeah. It was a little bit lonely in the second half, but the first half, that was good stuff. And I think it all came down to just staying safe. The curbs are really dangerous here. So even I was, I was in the voice with some of the other guys there, and a lot of them were losing tire pressures and getting punctures and stuff like that, and it's really, it really sucks the time out of it. So I was able to just keep the tires good and took tires halfway and clean. Yeah, I mean, I just stayed on the track. It worked out.
Nice. Did you with the loss of pressures throughout the race, did you end up having to when you pitted, did you increase your tire pressures or anything, or what
No,
was your pit strategy?
no, that was it. Like I said, I didn't end up with any loss, so I just stayed off
Okay.
the curbs. There was the one is a really dangerous, in the second sector there. That first chicane is really hard on the tires, and if you just got to get through there without losing pressure, and if you do, um, it helps you the whole race. So
Okay. Congratulations, man. You earned it. You deserved it.
thanks, man. Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah. Hey, Nico, you did most of that
Good
race
night, good
by
night.
yourself, man.
Well, yeah, it was very, very lonely. I didn't. I think I haven't seen a single car for the entire race. It was just
Yeah.
a battle with myself, honestly, just trying to stay on the track and keep up with the tire pressures, which I struggled a bit with. I hit on the chicane, as Mike said. I wasn't doing it all that right, so I ended up getting a few punctures that I had to fix in the pit stop. But yeah, overall, happy to be able to stay on track and to gain those positions by other people's mistakes.
Yeah, I think that's one of the key things is limit your mistakes. Stay clean, drive smart, and let the others mess up. Um, Now, when you're by yourself like that, what's going through your mind? Like, what's your approach to your race? When you're 20 seconds
Well,
behind first, but also 20 seconds behind or in front of third place.
well, yeah, it's not easy to stay focused. I just try to stay within a certain um, span of time. Like trying to match the same lap time every lap, and that's what I try to focus on. But yeah, it's not easy mentally to stay on it when you're so alone in the track.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I would think that's a good mental exercise just for yourself to really focus in and dial in, almost like a practice session, an individual practice session.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, great race, man. Good job. You stayed clean.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
Devin,
Hello, hello.
that was a great race towards the end, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough.
Oh, you
Rough
made it look easy.
well, it was hard keeping them behind me, especially when Darren caught up.
We were watching that. At one point, it was 3 seconds behind you too, and while you're doing a great job keeping Zach behind you, Darren just kept creeping up, and everyone knows he's
Hmm.
extremely fast.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah,
How he's
you
fast,
you
but he's also very patient.
he's extremely patient, and that's one thing he's been teaching me in some of our sessions where we've gotten together. Um, but take us through that, like your mindset and your approach when you've got two really fast cars behind you. Um,
Um, I mean, it's just keep looking forward. No,
yeah,
it's hard to do that, but no, you just, especially a track like that, you just got to keep your focus 100%
yeah.
because it's not an easy track. You can kill your tires too.
Well, how were your tires? There's been other people talking about losing some tire pressures throughout the race. Did you
I
struggle
lost.
with that?
Uh, I kind of did. I lost pressures, yeah, but I also kind of overinflated my tires as well.
Okay,
That seemed to help a little.
like an anticipation for that.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's one thing at Donington that we fell short with. That is didn't think about that, and our tires completely fell apart. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, you drove a great race. You made it look easy, especially keeping Zach behind you, who um, both of them actually, Zach and Darren, fell back early. and drove to some recovery laps there. But dude, like hats off to you, man. That was a fantastic drive. Keep those
Thank you,
guys behind
thank you. And believe me, it was not easy. After the race,
No wonder
my
Zach
arms.
was talking about straight line speed because he was behind you.
Oh
The
yeah,
Mustang has just got this incredible acceleration. So it's like when you're behind that thing, it's really frustrating. You're like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, wait for me, you know?
Well, that's what we were talking about on the stream. Was it looked like Zach would have a run on you, but then coming
Mhm.
onto a straight, you leave him.
Exactly.
So
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching, so I guess I could say I was watching behind me, but also not, just because like talking about the straights, it's just bye.
Yeah, see you later and just worry about the turn in. Right?
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that was a fantastic race from all three of you guys. And
Thank you.
yeah, I was glad to see everybody doing so well. And again, Devin, I'd like to personally say great drive from you, fending off both cars.
Maybe yeah. I was gonna say after the race, my arms were tight and shaky.
All right, well, that's probably going to be the end of the stream.
All right, thanks for the stream,
So,
guys.
you
Appreciate it.
feel free to
Yeah.
say bye to
Yeah,
the
you.
stream and everybody. And that's going to finish us off for tonight. Join us next week on Tuesday for the Rookie Series, and again on Thursday if you want to see more of the Open Series racing. And I am going to hopefully set up a raid on somebody if I can find somebody. I've never done this before, but we're going to try it. Here we go. Mr. Jake Wells Racing. Why not? Alright, everybody join the raid if you want to. This is going to be the end of the stream here. And I hope you all have a nice day.